For over a decade, the intelligence agencies of the United States and Israel have been tracking this man. He's someone that the U.S. sees as a global threat, while China considers him a strategic asset, doing everything to protect him. He's a ghostly figure of China, a businessman who turned commerce into a powerful weapon for geopolitical purposes. Through secret networks, he sells components necessary for weapons and reshapes the modern concept of warfare. The FBI has even put a $5 million reward for information leading to him. Today, we're talking about the Chinese Phantom, a man targeted by the FBI and Mossad, virtually invisible, with only a single photo circulating online. He's the man who, for years, played a key role in the supply chain of components needed for Iran's nuclear ambitions. He was always a few steps ahead of intelligence agencies. According to the FBI website, he's charged with conspiracy to violate international economic authority laws, conspiracy to launder money, conspiracy to commit bank fraud. He goes by multiple names: Carl Lilly, Sanabai Sogdahai, Fangwei Li, Charles Li, Patrick Fangwei, and many more. His birth date, place, and even distinguishing features are listed. He has a mole on his nose and cheek, and he speaks both Chinese and English. The U.S. State Department's Transnational Organized Crime Program offers up to $5 million for information leading to Fangwei's arrest or conviction. For years, he was considered a primary supplier of components for Iran's nuclear program. You can imagine the level of interest the U.S. intelligence and Mossad had in him. Since around 2006, Fangwei managed a vast network of covert companies in eastern China, used to trick U.S. banks, regulators, and corporations. He leveraged the U.S. financial system for trading weapon components, selling them to Iran, one of the most sanctioned countries in the world. Millions of dollars in prohibited transactions went through U.S.-based financial institutions. Fangwei was charged on April 28, 2014, by the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, and a federal arrest warrant was issued. He's been on the FBI's most wanted list since 2014, but that hasn't stopped him from continuing his operations. In 2019, Western media reported that Li Fangwei supplied Iran with the full spectrum of components needed to build ballistic missiles, from precision guidance systems to raw materials for rocket fuel. While U.S. officials link him to Iran's nuclear program, the charges focus mainly on financial fraud. How did Carl Li's network work? He supplied components that improved Iran's missile range and accuracy, including microchips, gyroscopes, and accelerometers for in-flight navigation. He also provided graphite and aluminum to lighten the missiles and increase their range. These components could be legally purchased in China as dual-use products, but their export to sanctioned countries like Iran was prohibited. Li managed to bypass sanctions for years by creating a massive network of shell companies. Whenever one company was blacklisted by the U.S., he'd open another, sometimes a new one, every month. Most addresses used for these companies were registered to family or friends who may not have known their homes were part of an arms trading scheme. His illegal transactions, worth millions, involved using the U.S. financial system to sell to Iranian companies, leading to charges of violating international economic laws, money laundering, and fraud. Investigations revealed that Li eventually shifted from a middleman to a high-tech manufacturer. He realized that producing core components himself could generate more profit. In Dalian, a port city in China, he opened a factory producing isotropic graphite for missile engines, casings, and warheads. In August 2021, journalists investigating the factory found rusted equipment and signs that it wasn't operating, hinting at hidden secrets. But where is Fangwei? No one knows. The information is highly classified. According to the FBI website, he remains on the most wanted list. Interestingly, U.S. officials actively spoke about him until 2020, requesting China to hand him over. But after 2020, all public discussion stopped. This unusual silence has led to speculation that Fangwei was quietly detained in China and used as leverage in U.S.-China trade negotiations. Even though his public trail disappears in 2020, the network he built continues to function. Fangwei's role in China's political ecosystem is multifaceted, likely tied to government elites and years of diplomatic friction caused by his activities. His influence goes beyond being a weapons dealer. He's seen as a necessary evil for Beijing, highlighting how Western sanctions may sometimes fail, even against nuclear proliferation. It's no secret that Li had elite connections, giving him access to sensitive information. A classified U.S. State Department document describes him as a former official using his connections for business. Despite repeated U.S. requests for his extradition, China never handed him over. In Tehran, many analysts refer to him as Beijing's man. Fangwei Li represents a new type of figure who enables states to pursue geopolitical goals while avoiding official accountability. He was a hidden lever in China's international strategy. It's no surprise that U.S. intelligence focused on him after receiving info from Mossad, confirmed by multiple journalistic investigations. However, Mossad agents themselves avoid public discussion. Li's figure intersects three worlds: military industry, financial systems, and state intelligence. His network, linking Chinese high-tech producers to Iran's ballistic program, was not just commercial, it was a political channel. Through it, China maintained influence in Tehran while undermining the West, isolating Iran. For the U.S., Li represented a systemic challenge, exposing weaknesses in sanctions enforcement. For Beijing, he offered political maneuverability, outwardly respecting sanctions while secretly supporting Iran. Fangwei Li has become a symbol of how China leverages private business networks to expand global influence, a geopolitical symptom of the modern era, where a smuggler can act as an unofficial diplomat and a key tool for a state's geopolitical aims.